Hey, friend, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I should be happy, but I'm not? You wake up, check your phone, scroll through messages, and for a second it feels like the world is moving too fast. But you're standing still. You're doing things, talking to people, showing up every day. Yet somehow you feel empty, lost. It's like everyone around you has it figured out. They know what they want, where they're going, who they are. And you're just trying to hold yourself together. But let me tell you something real. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're just human. Feeling lost doesn't mean your life is over. It means you've reached a point where your soul is quietly asking for something more, something real. You see, in life, we often get busy living for noise. We chase approval, likes, followers, degrees, jobs, people's validation. But we forget to listen to that small voice inside us that says, wait, what do I really want? We think being lost is a bad thing, but it's not. It's actually the beginning of finding yourself. Because when everything feels uncertain, that's when you finally start to question, what truly matters to me? Maybe you've been doing what people expected of you. Maybe you followed the safe path, the one your parents, teachers, or friends said was right. But somewhere deep down, you knew that it didn't feel like your path. And that's okay. You're allowed to feel confused. You're allowed to stop and breathe. You're allowed to say, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm ready to find out. Do you know what's interesting? Most people spend their lives avoiding that feeling, that lost feeling, by keeping themselves distracted. They fill every quiet moment with noise. Music, notifications, conversations, anything to avoid hearing their own thoughts. But silence isn't your enemy. It's your mirror. When you're quiet, you finally see yourself clearly, and maybe, just maybe, the reason you feel lost is because you've been living a life that doesn't feel like home. You've been trying to fit into spaces that were never built for you, trying to meet expectations that were never meant for your heart. That's why you feel disconnected, not from the world, but from yourself. So before we talk about finding yourself, let's start with something simpler. Remembering yourself. Remember the times when you laughed for no reason, when you felt proud of something small, when you looked at the world and thought, this is where I belong. That version of you still exists. It's not lost. It's just waiting for you to come back. Being lost isn't a curse. It's a message. A message that says, you've grown too big for the life you're living. It's time to discover something new. So don't rush the process. You don't have to have all the answers today. You just need to start asking the right questions. Like, what do I truly care about? What makes me feel peaceful? What kind of life feels true to me? Because when you start asking these questions, your direction slowly begins to appear. Not all at once, but step by step. And here's the truth no one tells you. You don't find yourself once and for all. You meet yourself again and again. Each time you grow, each time you change, each time life breaks, you open and teaches you something new. So if you feel lost today, it's okay. It just means life is inviting you to rediscover who you are, not who you were told to be. Now that you've accepted it's okay to feel lost, let's talk about what comes next. Because staying lost is not your destiny. It's a season, a temporary fog that clears once you start walking with awareness. You don't escape confusion by running away from it. You grow through it by listening to what it's trying to teach you. So let's listen. When was the last time you sat alone without touching your phone? Just you, your thoughts, and the sound of your breathing. It feels uncomfortable at first, doesn't it? Because silence shows you the truth. It shows you what you've been avoiding. Maybe you've been hiding behind busyness. Maybe you've been telling yourself, I'll figure it out later. But later keeps turning into never. You see, the first step to finding yourself is not changing your life overnight. It's paying attention. Pay attention to what drains you. Pay attention to what makes your chest feel heavy. Pay attention to what makes you come alive again. These are signs. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are messages guiding you home. When you feel lost, your mind says, I don't know where to go. But your heart always knows what feels right. And if you learn to listen to that quiet inner voice, you'll start to notice small directions, a thought, an idea, a person you meet by chance, a feeling that whispers, try this. That's how clarity appears, not as a map, but as little lights along the road. And here's something else people rarely say. You don't have to fix yourself to find yourself. You only need to see yourself honestly. You're not lost because you're weak. You're lost because you've been strong for too long, in places that didn't value your soul. Maybe you kept pretending to be okay, so that others would feel comfortable. Maybe you kept smiling while your heart was tired, and over time, pretending became your habit. But pretending disconnects you from truth. And truth is what heals you. So start being honest, gently, quietly, bravely. Say to yourself, I'm not fine right now, but I'm learning. I don't have the answers yet, but I'm listening. That's how self-connection begins. Take small moments for yourself each day. Moments with no noise, no goals, no comparison. Just space to breathe and exist. Go for a walk without music. Watch the sunrise. Write down what hurts and what heals. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a close friend, because the truth is, you are your closest friend. You've been with yourself since the beginning, and when everyone else leaves, you are still there. So maybe the journey isn't about finding someone new. Maybe it's about coming home to the person. You've always been underneath the noise. You don't need to know your full purpose yet. You just need to stay curious. Curiosity is the light that guides the lost. Ask yourself small questions each day. What makes me feel peaceful? What do I miss when it's gone? What would I do if nobody judged me? Write your answers, even if they change tomorrow. That's okay. Change means you're alive. And while you explore, remember this. You are not behind anyone. Life isn't a race. It's a rhythm. And you'll find your rhythm when you stop trying to match everyone else's beat. Take the pressure off. You don't need to rebuild your life in a day. You just need to take one honest step. Maybe that step is forgiving yourself. Maybe it's letting go of someone who doesn't see you anymore. Maybe it's learning something new. Whatever it is, start small, but start with love. Because love, not fear, will always lead you home. And if you're listening to this right now, maybe that's your first step already. You're choosing awareness. You're choosing growth. You're choosing you. You are not lost. You are simply becoming. So now, let's talk about finding peace again. Not the kind that comes from having everything figured out, but the kind that comes from trusting the process. You don't have to have a perfect plan. You just have to stop fighting yourself. Because the truth is, you don't need to find who you are. You already are. You just forgot. You were born with a sense of wonder. You used to wake up excited to explore, to touch, to learn, to love. But somewhere between growing up and growing older, you learned to hide that light. You were told to be practical, to be realistic, to follow the rules. And in trying to be who others needed, you slowly drifted away from who you are. That's why so many people wake up one day and feel empty. Not because life is meaningless, but because they've been living someone else's meaning. But you can return. You can rebuild. You can rewrite your story, even from the middle. And here's how you start: by giving yourself permission to begin again. Yes, again. No matter your age, no matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how many times you tried and failed, the world wants you to believe that starting over means you failed. But the truth is, starting over means you're brave enough to listen to your heart again. When you begin to live more honestly, you stop needing the world's approval. You start creating from peace, not pressure, from truth, not fear, and life begins to feel lighter. You start noticing the small joys again. The morning sunlight through your window, the smell of rain, the way your favorite song makes you feel alive for no reason at all. That's not random. That's you, returning. The real you. The one who feels deeply, who dreams quietly, who cares, who notices beauty even when the world looks gray. That version of you never left. It's just been waiting for you to slow down and remember. You see, finding yourself is not about traveling to a new city, buying new things, or becoming a new person. It's about remembering the person who's been there all along, the one who loved freely before fear, the one who believed before doubt, the one who tried even when things were hard. That's you. You are not lost. You're just returning home to yourself. And when you do, everything around you begins to change. Not because the world suddenly gets easier, but because you begin to move differently. You stop chasing and start choosing. You stop proving and start being. You stop comparing and start living. People will notice. They'll say you've changed, but you haven't changed. You've just remembered who you are. And once you reach that moment, you'll realize something powerful. Being lost was never a punishment. It was preparation. Every doubt, every heartbreak, every confusing moment was shaping you into someone deeper, calmer, wiser. You needed to get lost so you could see what truly matters. And what matters isn't perfection, it's presence. It's being here, now, awake, aware, alive. You don't need to know where the road leads. You just need to trust that it's leading you somewhere beautiful. Take small steps. Keep breathing. Keep showing up. Keep choosing what feels true. The fog will lift. The path will appear. And one day, you'll look back and realize you were never really lost. You were always on your way home. And maybe that's what finding yourself truly means. Not reaching a destination, but finally learning how to walk with peace. So wherever you are right now, take this as your reminder. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And that is enough. This is your journey, and it's only just beginning.